This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Revival of America podcast. I am Jenny, the owner and the host of the Revival of America. Today we have Silk in the house, everybody. So please, if you have a question for Silk over here on X, feel free to request a mic, and I will unmute your mic, and you can ask Silk your question at some point in this podcast. Rumble Live and X Live. If you have questions for Silk, feel free to write them down in the comment box below, and I will read those to her as well. Also, too, everybody, I tell my audience all the time, if you listen to me, I know it's repetitive, but I just heard of a scam just before I came on this live right now of that they're targeting the elderly. So please, everybody, be careful who you listen to, who you follow, what you're putting in your mind, and don't fall for these scams. They're getting more creative by the day. If you question it, then go with your gut feeling. Okay. I say it all the time. Myself or my guests will not randomly reach out to you and ask you for any financial information. If you're ready for a scare event, any crypto, anything, nothing. If you get something like saying they're myself or any of my guests, please block, report them, let me know so I can make sure they're not in any of my chats or any of my comment boxes. I will block the shit out of these people, everybody. But I'm telling you, it's scary what is happening. People are getting taken for their livelihood. They're targeting a lot of the elderly. And one just happened that I got notice of right before coming on here, and this poor gentleman got taken for his livelihood. Do not click on any links that you are not familiar with. If they're saying it's coming from a family member or a friend and you don't feel good about it, always go straight to your family member or your friend. Make sure it's them sending you this. If not, don't click on it. Because once you click on that link, everybody, it opens it up for a huge line of potential hacking your phone, your computer, whatever it is. Also, too, do not answer any phone calls you do not recognize. If they're not in your phone, just block, report them, everybody. There's a lot of scams going on out there because once you say hello with AI, guess what? They've got your voice, and then there you go again. You open yourself up for potential hacking of your phone, your computer, whatever it is. I'm telling you guys, it's happening. Be careful. Yes, we are in a war and we are living it in real time, and real shit is happening. Protect yourselves, everybody. I say what I say for a reason because I'm trying to protect my guests, my audience, as well as myself. So these things are happening, and it's absolutely terrifying, sad to hear these people and the stories, and just they're broken, everybody. These people are broken. So please be careful. Also, to everybody, if you come in late to the podcast, we are being listened to in over 100 countries, actually 150 countries. So you can follow me on on my podcast hosts or my social medias, which are iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Apple, Google, Breaker, PocketCast, Podbean, Riverside, Amazon Music. My social medias are Jenny Jareed Facebook at Jenny_Jareed X, at J Jareed Rumble, at J Jareed Instagram, at J Jareed True Social, The Revival of America on YouTube, and The Revival of America on Telegram. So you can see I'm not that hard to find. Also, if you guys have a question for me or you want to submit a story or a journey that you have been going through and you want to have your voices heard, please send me those to troasubmissions@yahoo.com. I will vet these stories because, again, guess what, guys? We got shyster scammers trying to give me some bullshit story just to get on a show. If I believe it's legitimate, I'll reach back out to you via email and we'll get your voices and your stories heard. Otherwise, you probably won't hear from me if I don't believe it's legitimate. But give me some time because, I got my day gig and that comes precedent to the podcast. So it's taking me a little bit of time to get through some of these stories. But I will reach back out to you. We are getting some of these stories on as we speak, pre-recorded. Some are going live. It just depends on how the guest feels. So again, remember, everybody, it's your voices, your stories that matter and are going to help change this world that we're coming into. So with that, everybody, we will get started here shortly. Silk should be on here soon. She typically gives us about 50 minutes of her time because many of you, as you know, she goes over to Lindell TV and she does her little chitty chat line over there for about an hour as well. So again, if you guys have questions for her, feel free to request a mic here on X and you can ask your question. But in the meantime, if you guys don't mind, go down to that purple pill and repost this space. Let's get some more people in here because if you've been in here for Silk before, you know she's a hoot, she's a blast, she's bringing a lot of truth, but she's also bringing a lot of humor and comedy with it. She is a good time. So sit back, hang tight, and if there she is right there. So yeah, we will get started. I'm gonna give her a co-host, but yeah, if you guys don't mind reposting this, that would be awesome. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you and welcome, Silk. It seems like it's been a minute. I just sent you the co-host, sweetie. So once you get it, you can come on up and say hello. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, why is it every time you're running late or you got to come on for something, then the computer need an update?
Oh, girl. Is that what happened to you?
Yeah,
Always.
always a doggone update. Just leave
Gir-
the stuff alone.
Man, I swear it seems like it's been forever since you've been here. Let's see. You had your husband had a birthday. Happy belated birthday to him. I had a birthday. Then
Yeah.
Memorial Day was here. It's been what? Couple 3 weeks?
Yeah, just a couple of weeks.
Yeah, how you been?
I've been doing good. I've been doing good despite it all. I have been doing good. I have been doing good. I've been staying away from the fake news. A lot of the different news that's mixed all up there. You don't know what to believe. I've just been basically following President Donald J. Trump's lead, and I've been chilling. I've been fishing. I've been watching my chickens. I've been getting away from a lot of this stuff because this stuff can make you cuckoo for Cocoa Puff,
Yes,
Taco
ma'am.
Bell, dumb as hell. You just be walking around here ringing, just hearing bells and stuff. It's just so much stuff. So, but I've been doing really, really good.
Good for you. Yeah, it's wild out there. Oh, it is. It's wild out there, but as wild as it is, there is so much positive that is happening. I mean, did you see where Donald Trump signed that executive order for they can go in and fire these deep state workers?
I am just
That's huge.
I just turned to the left to my other computer and laid my eyes on that, and I'm like, "Thank you, Jesus." But now here's the deal. Here's the deal. Unfortunately, we have a lot of the deep states that have people set up to try to block President Donald J. Trump, to try to block his order or try to block the firing of these deep state bastards that seeks to destroy America. So I hope that, the people that's around President Trump have some balls, some fighting power to fight back against this because it is truly not fair that we as American citizens have to abide by the rules that a lot of these people make and put into legislation or policies or what have you, but they break the rules. How is it that they break their own rules? It's like, rules for me, but not for them. And so they need to be fired. A lot of them need to be fired, and especially the rogue DOJ and FBI agents who are leftovers from Obama and Jim Crow Joe Biden's era. They all need to be fired. They need to be gone. They need to be gone because they're not benefiting the American people. People are still being weaponized against under President Donald J. Trump because of these leftovers that still left in these different positions, and they are terrorizing American citizens. So it's a doggone disgrace. So hopefully this will work, and he can get rid of so many rogue individuals that it may be a few people left when it's all over. So
So,
many, go
oh
ahead.
no, no, go ahead, sweetie, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's just so many people that's done gone rogue, done stole money, done laundered money. We have the receipts on everybody, what they done, what they done created, and it's like it's at least 99% of them. I mean, is
Yes.
there anybody that's really true to the cause, true to being the American people? Is it anybody left besides President Donald J. Trump?
Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. I think with this, we're obviously just like with anything, Silk, right? We're going to see some pushback with this, with Donald Trump, because everything he does, it's like you say, they want to go against it. But I do think it's just going to be, he's going to sign it. You're going to see that pushback. They're going to expose themselves. But at the end of the day, I do believe, it will be a win-win for him, for us.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what's happening with Tina Peters. She's getting out. God bless her soul, man.
Yes.
Strong, true hero there. But I do now believe, well, obviously now that she's been out, once she regains her strength and all that stuff, I think she's gonna come out firing, with a bat, and she's gonna, between her and Tulsi Gabbard, remember 2020 is not over yet. And
Mhm.
I believe between the two of them, we could potentially see a lot of stuff coming up before the 4th of July.
I totally agree with you. Also, just let me just double back, piggyback, do a Jen Psaki and circle back on something. With the deep state being fired, they also need to be held accountable. That's something that I'm not seeing enough of, accountability. I am not talking about the average foreigner that came over here illegally and stole money. I'm talking about the deep state snake politicians, the corrupt politicians that facilitated the theft of America's wealth. That's who I'm talking about. So even though we fire these workers and these federal workers that is been doing a lot of nefarious stuff, they need to be held accountable.
Yep, I agree. I agree. And I think with, this executive order, we will eventually see that. But again, I do believe we'll probably see that pushback like we always do. But I think the accountability is here. I mean, look at all of these arrests and stuff that are happening with some of these bigger, billionaires, whatever. We've got the Harvard guy. I think he was stepping down. I don't know. There's just so much. It's so hard to keep up with it all.
But Jenny, I hear you. I'm talking about the politicians. I'm talking about the people sitting their asses there in Congress and in the Senate and doing absolutely nothing for American people, but they're taking and laundering our wealth through these NGOs. I'm talking about those individuals. I got the billionaires and the millionaires and the people that is at the bottom of the totem pole and all of that. I got that. But the main people that's been sitting there for decades upon decades and have done absolutely nothing for the will of the people here in America, those are the individuals that I am really truly talking about. We need to see them in handcuffs, starting with Obama, Barack Hussein Obama, Michelle Obama. Now, let me just say this right here. They keep saying Michelle Obama is a man, but there's no pushback about her not being a man. You don't see it. You don't get no type of fact check or anything. So if it's really a man, then that's deception. Then it needs to be in handcuff for deceiving the public. Joe Biden, for everything that he's done, over $600,000. They took millions of dollars, but they specified, I believe it was about $600,000, to go and figure out or do a study on how to stop women periods from cycling. And these women are the women that wants to be a man. So they want to stop these, they call them trans women or trans men or whatever you want to call them. But our tax dollars was used for that. Who gave them permission to use our American tax dollars for that bull crap? Okay, he needs to be locked up for it. All of the individuals that was under the Joe Biden's regime, over the FBI, over the DOJ, the one that weaponized their power against innocent American citizens. Every last one of them need to be locked up. So I got you, baby. I'm with you. But we need to get the heads of the snakes. We got to get the head of the snakes out the doggone swamp, because it's hard to drain the swamp when you have these rats and snakes clogging a pipe. And they got to get going.
Yeah, that is very true. Very, very true. Yeah, and and that's the consensus, I do believe, for a lot of Americans, a lot of us, right? We want to see that in the forefront, the accountability of them being arrested or whatever it is, right?
They got to go straight to jail or hell, one or the other. Okay.
Probably the firing squad or be hung.
Whatever is necessary. With what I've heard, the things that I've learned and what I know, the things that have happened. Yeah, a firing squad is probably necessary, because there's been a lot of treasonous activities that has happened to our country, and so it just is what it is. Now I'm doing another circle back to Tina Peters. Now I love Tina Peters, and I'm grateful that she is home, but I want to see her vindicated and liberated. She don't need to have anything on her records as if she's like some type of hard down common criminal or something like that. She needs to be totally free. She don't need to be where they got her on probation. This grandma on probation.
That's wild.
You see, yeah, that's just wild. Now the governor there, he pardoned the murderers, but just going to commute Tina Peters' sentence. Yeah, this little stuff like that. It's just that it irks me. It really truly irks me. This lady have done absolutely nothing but try to expose the election fraud that we all know have taken place and took place in our elections, especially in the 2020 election. We already know this, okay? It's no secret. They can't even prove that they won. It's just that bad, okay? But we can prove that they lost, but they can't prove to us that they won absolutely nothing. 81 million votes for Joe Biden. More black people want make us think more black people voted for that old racist bastard than Barack Hussein Obama. You know, it's just it's not adding up. Okay, their 2 + 2 is equaling 5 instead of 4. Something is seriously wrong here. So with Tina Peters, I want to see her totally free. She shouldn't have any type of restraints on her, and she should be able to speak openly and fluently. And I hope that President Donald J. Trump take her in as a witness, put her under witness protection or whatever they need to do for her, so she can go ahead and spill the beans and the collard greens and the in between with a side of onion rings.
I love you, Silk. You just crack me up, man. You're a lot of fun. That's why I tell my audience, you know, if you haven't been over there to listen to Silk, she brings the fire and she brings the laughter. So definitely a lot of people need that in this movement right now. A lot of people are positive, but then a lot of people are just, you know, they're enough is enough. And I totally understand.
Yes.
So, okay, so I know you deal a lot with Jake Lang. What's going on?
Yes.
You know, he's bless his heart. He's out there, man, and he got
You know what, Jake
arrested.
Lane? You know what, Jake Lane? I don't mean to cut you off, but let me
Oh,
say
you're
this
good.
because you know I'm 55 years old. So let me say this before I forget. One thing about Jake Lang, I want everybody to understand, he is showing us this 2-tier justice system straight up in his face. Okay, you may not like his tactics, you may not like him, you may think that this motherfucker is crazy as hell, right? I know a lot of y'all probably done said it, but when you sit back and you think about it, he's using himself to show us what this 2-tier justice system look like. Now they want to take and lock him up for being a journalist, showing certain things where our regular journalists ain't doing jack, okay, to show us nothing but lie to us. Now they're in New Jersey. You got them people beating up ICE agents, setting fires, throwing Molotov cocktail. They under the guise of protesting, even though they are rioting and inciting violence. This is paid for. Okay, all right. Not just in New Jersey, but pretty much all over in a lot of these blue states when it comes down to ICE. How many of them have been locked up and set under a high-ass bond, put in solitary confinement? Just think about it. Now, Jake Lang, walking out of court the other day, says this is a 2-tier justice system. They locked him up in solitary confinement for 10 days. Huh? Just for saying that. But you got people out there in armor, in gear, doing what? Setting fires, beating up ICE agents, and nothing happens to them. They may go somewhere, they may round them up and take them to somebody's magistrate office, and they just let them back out on the street. Jake Lang goes to get evidence, to show proof of this, to show, you know, as a journalist, hey, this is what's happening. We're researching this. And what they do, lock him up because they say, what? He's trespassing. Okay. Then they took, I understand, I don't know a whole lot about it, the cases or whatever. But I do, you know, something was just reposted where they took and that the judge mentioned that because of January the 5th, that's why the bond is so high. But my deal is Jake Lang was pardoned from January the 5th. I don't even think that he even though he sat in prison for 4 years and solitary confinement for more than 80% of that time, I don't even think he was charged with anything within those 4-year period. They just held him hostage there as a political prisoner until President Trump came in and pardon them. So how are you using what happened in January the 6th as a means to say, we're going to use this right here to say, this is why we need to set your bond so high. But once again, we have bastards out there that paid for bastards out there that's burning up stuff, that is interfering with law enforcement, that's spitting in ICE face, that wanting to fight and beat up ICE, and nothing. They ain't gone to jail. I ain't seen a jailhouse yet. If anything, you see them at the next riot that they are being paid to attend. Okay, all right. So that's my spiel when it comes down to Jake Lane. I always keep the young man in my prayers but I understand where he's coming from. He's angry. He's angry, and I understand his anger because look at what they're doing. You want to snatch him up. Now, he ain't beat up nobody. He ain't set no fire. He ain't harmed nobody. But you want to lock him up in solitary confinement and set him a high-ass bond. And then the mother bastard that done killed somebody, you let him out the next day. Yeah, we got a serious-ass problem going on here in America, and it's time for all Americans to wake up. Now, once again, you may not like his tactic. You may say, oh, he's crazy for what he's doing. But what he is doing is being man enough. He have a set of balls to show all of us what's actually going on in our country with this two-tier justice system.
So Silk, okay, so there's a couple. So he was arrested. So he was kicked out of a school board meeting because he was talking about, I don't know, all the Muslims, coming into our school boards and all that stuff. And then was he just arrested for trespassing on that school of where Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf, where that incident happened? Did that
Exactly. I
and
believe he was arrested yesterday for that.
Okay, and is that where I know he was in solitary confinement for J6, but did they do that again to him when he got arrested yesterday?
From my understanding, I'm looking at, let me see, you could just go down his feed. They kind of keep you updated as to what's happening. Like I said, when they go in and they post that, and I may go and look at Twitter or wherever they got him posted at. And I may read through it, and I just make sure I just say a silent prayer for him. But it says this was an update. They moved Jake Lane in the middle of the night from Frisco jail to a maximum security cell block in Collin County Detention Center. Okay, set his bond at $7,500. That's 7 times the average for a simple trespassing charge. The judge banned Jake Lane from attending Carmelo Anthony murder trial of Austin Metcalf. He has to stay 200 feet away from the courthouse for 30 days. All right. And then let me see. Jake will have no access to use phone or speak with his attorney in the max security cell block. He will come out just 1 hour for every 2 days to stand in an empty cage outdoors. Lights on 24 hours, 24/7. And he hasn't been given any underwear or socks. In his cell, he is only allowed a thin mat, a suicide blanket, and a roll of toilet paper that he is using for a pillow. Okay, so that's that's the stats that they have there listed. Now, I have to say allegedly for me because I'm not there to see it, but this is what they have posted there according to what's going on. Then I believe something else just came in not too long ago where I believe they meant to say that he's been released, but it's not clear to me if he's been released from Texas. Let me see. It is saying, okay, this is the last update within the last hour. Jake Lane has been, released from jail in Texas. Okay, he was arrested for filming the blood stain of Austin Metcalf in the stadium last year, trespassing charges. Okay, so evidently it sounds like he is now out. as of today. That's what it sounds like according to what I just read. So
Damn, this poor guy, man. Like he hasn't had enough shit go on, right?
yeah, he's trying to get the truth out there and show what's happening. But see, we have a governmental system that loves to hide the truth, make it look a certain way when it's not. You know, I'm getting calls and stuff in from even the J6 pipe bomber. Okay, that the young black man that they got for the J6 pipe bomber, you know, they may just be holding him there as the person to say, okay, he's the one that did it. Now everybody be quiet about it. When he, in fact, probably did not do it. Okay. And so it's just people, let me tell you, they do this, and what do? That everybody gets silent.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
And nobody hear nothing else about it. Now some of the family is starting to come out and say, wait a minute, he did not do that. He did not plant that bomb up there on January the 5th, the 6th, or whatever day it, you know, the pipe bombing was. Then when I look at it, I'm like, well, who told him how to do a bomb and put a bomb together? Who paid for him? You know, you just start asking these questions and stuff is not adding up. It's just not adding up. So they would, the system will take and railroad whoever they want to. There's a lot of people right now that's locked up in prison that should not be in prison. They was railroad to take the fall for a lot of stuff that these people have done, and they will do everything that they can to hide the truth.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. Thank you for that update. Yeah, I've been, he's, you know, God bless him. He's been all over. He's been, I think it was in Minnesota where he got attacked pretty brutally. So he's really out there doing the work, guys. Like, you know, Silk says, you may not like his delivery, but just, you know, keep your prayers up for him, as many people out there, you know, they're going through it. So,
because you know, guess what? We can't, a person like myself, I can't be in Texas at the school board or to see the Muslim takeover that's going on down there. But if he's able to be there to show it to us, we need to see that so we can know what's happening. How in the entire hell are we right now sitting here talking about Muslims taking over our country? Huh? Remember, President Trump wanted a Muslim ban back in what, 2020? He wanted a Muslim ban. Now you see why. They've taken over our schools. They're taking over our counties, our cities, and then they want to implement Sharia law. Okay, all right. So there's a lot of little hot spots around here where this is happening. And what he's doing is taking a little cell phone, a little camera, whatever, going to show us what's actually going on behind the scene. How is that governor down there in Texas even allowing this bullshit to happen in America? Just think about that. He's supposed to be a Republican, and they are allowing this to happen. They are allowing these people to set up their own country inside of our country. And we can't go to their country setting up in America in the middle of Somalia. We can't do no stuff like that. They will hang us by our feet. You all know good and doggone well we couldn't do no mess like that. So how are they allowed to do that here in America? And somebody with the balls, with that has the strength and has the knowledge to be able to go to these different places and show us what's going on. I'm grateful for that, because guess what? The mainstream and lamestream corporate media, some even on the right side, the right wing, is not showing us what's actually truly going on. The stuff that's really going to affect we, the people, that's going to affect our cities, that's going to affect our entire country. That's what Jake Lang is out there. That's what I see him out there doing.
Amen. I agree with you 100% right there.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. If you guys have any questions for Silk, feel free to request a mic. I will unmute your mic. She typically gives us about 55 minutes of her time because she goes over to Lindell TV and does her chitty chat line. So I've got a couple more questions for you, Silk, and then
Yeah.
if you guys have them, we'll open up for the audience. But okay, so we know we have the 250 celebration coming up, the concert, or not the concert, but I mean, well, yeah, that too. But I want your thoughts and opinions on that. Coming up to that, I do think we're, like I said, with Tulsi Gabbard and Tina Peters, I do think it's gonna get fiery in a good way. A lot of truth coming out, more truth. And also too, I wanted to get your opinion on these little cowards backing out of the 250 the concert that Donald Trump was going to
Yeah.
have. What your thoughts were on that?
Well, my first thought is who's over this? Who's over setting this up? Okay. When I look at America, President Trump represents America. Conservatism represents America. These liberals, these demonic liberals, they don't represent America. Okay. They represent some demonic ideology. All right. So who's over setting this up first in the first place? All right. And then the next thing that I said to myself after they started dropping out, well, hold up. Was this a setup to say, listen, we're going to extend an olive branch to everybody? You all come on in. Let's celebrate 250 years celebration. All right. And then let them show themselves that they don't want to be a part of America's celebration. And now we all get to see who's for America and who's not for America. But then I thought a little further. I said, now you got John Rich, Kid Rock, you got some more country singers out there, and they're conservatives. Why weren't they even invited? Were they invited to sing and do a show? So here's my deal. Who represents America and American first? This fell on President Donald J. Trump's watch. All right. Therefore, people that support President Trump should be the ones up there singing to his supporters, not these lamestream, dried up, drugged up looking liberal singers that probably can't hold a tune. That's how I see it, Jenny.
I agree with you 100%. I do. I think it's just more exposure, like you say, just showing these people's true colors. And what do you think coming up to the July 4th 250 celebration with everything going on? What are your thoughts? What do you think?
Well, I hope that some good stuff comes from it. You know, I hope President Trump go ahead and pardon anybody that was locked up during the Joe Biden's regime because of the weaponization against American citizens. I hope that once again, a lot of these people that did the weaponization are arrested. I hope that all of the crimes start being exposed, clearly exposed as that time comes up. And, you know, once again, we have to continue to pray for our country because, you know, the left leaning liberal, they got their little paid demons out there. They'll probably be protesting it. I don't know, but I just hope for a good time and a good celebration.
I think, yeah, I think it will be just that. So, all right, everybody, we're going to open it up. I'm going to open up for you guys, the audience. If you have questions for her, feel free to request a mic. I will unmute your mic. And I want to give a shout out over here, guys, to X Live. Oh, look at you guys. We've got about almost 600 people watching live over here on X. That's wild. This is, you're pretty popular there, Silk. But I just started streaming a little bit ago live on X. I do the live X Spaces, but I added that to the Rumble streaming live.
Yes.
So shout out to you guys over there on X Live. Thanks for the support and everybody here on Rumble and X Spaces, Telegram, everywhere. Thank you guys for your support because without you, the revival of America wouldn't be. And you know, many of you know I have a day gig, so I come in and do this afterwards. But thank you all for the support, and I know Silk appreciates it too because she does. You do your show every night, right? It's Monday through Friday.
It's Monday through Fridays from 9, Mondays through Fridays, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central at lindeltv.com. And I'm also on X. I do the X Live and, you know, different streams go out for that show as well. And before I, you know, start taking questions, I want to make sure that I mention something too. when you get a moment, about the weaponization fund.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay, the weaponization charge. I just want to say something about that real quick. Now, I understand that this money that we're speaking about is coming from a settlement with President Trump and the I, the R, and the S. Am I correct?
Yes, I do believe so.
Okay. It was because he sued for $10 billion.
Yep.
And then he turned around and said, okay, let's do 1.7666, $1.8 billion. But instead of, putting that money in my account, giving it to me, I want to set up what's wrong? I'm breaking it down. Let's set up this fund. Let's go ahead and set up this fund for people where the government has been weaponized against them and they lost pretty much everything. And let's set it up to help make these people whole, or something to help get these people back on their feet. All right. Then, of course, you had the Democrats want to go around here and yelling like bitches. And then, you have the lamestream, no spine Republicans that want to run around, acting like bitches too. Right. Okay. So here is my deal, because sometimes there's a blessing in the midst of it. I just really truly think, President Trump, they withdrew. Okay, they withdrew from setting up that particular fund, which may be a blessing in disguise. I believe that President Trump, he need to go ahead and get his $10 billion. All right, after he get his $10 billion settlement, then let him pass out his own gifts to people that have been weaponized against. Let him or somebody in his family or somebody else set that up outside of the government. Okay, because what the government is upset about is that they can't steal from the money. They can't steal that money. They're very, very, very upset about that. And keep in mind, this was President Trump's settlement, okay, with the I, the R, and the S. But now, take a listen to this. Did y'all know that Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, okay, she's it's been reports and revealed that prepaid debit cards for illegal aliens were funded through the NGO that received $34 million in direct taxpayer money from California. Okay, so now I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, Jenny, I'm like, well, who gave her permission to use American tax dollars to just create prepaid debit cards for illegal aliens? But here we have American citizens, okay, who have lost damn near just about everything, and some including their lives, because of the weaponization that was used against them by this rogue ass government. Okay, but now and then we got people want to sit back. Oh no, we shouldn't be paying this. We shouldn't be doing that. Well, why not go and get Karen's Bass ass, and lock her ass up? You know what I'm saying? For using American tax dollars. See, this wasn't no settlement. Okay, this $34 million wasn't no settlement for her to just take and freely make up prepaid debit cards for illegal aliens. That was American tax dollars. But when we talk about the weaponization fund, that was President Trump's settlement with the IRS, that he was just freely having to put in his fund. He's don't give it to me, just put it in a fund so we can help these people that was weaponized against. And I want people to understand what's going on. The Democrat Party and a lot of these deep state snake Republicans don't mean us no good whatsoever. When I look at all of the money, our Social Security, the Medicaid, the food stamp, all of our different systems that was abused, and these Democrats, the housing, they allowed these illegal aliens to have access to all of our stuff, even though they didn't put one damn dime or one red cent in our systems. Nobody said nothing. And that was American tax dollars. Now President Trump want to use his own money to help make people whole. And you got people walking around here bitching. Okay, that's all I got to say about it, girl.
Yeah, no, I'm right there. Oh, yeah, you hit the nail right on the head. Like,
Yeah,
people, he's wanting to try to help people, Donald Trump, and then, they'll take the money, but they'll sure as hell, sit there and bitch and complain about him. Like, it's kind of those people out there. Yeah, no, I never voted, but yeah, you have a lot to say. Like, I just want to say, just sit down and shut the you know what up, because if you didn't
yeah,
vote, you have no reason complaining or saying anything about anything. And if you're going to take Donald Trump's money, try to help you out, you sure as hell better not be out there bitching about it. You'd be a little bit grateful. I
exactly.
get it, girl. That just puts some fire under my ass for sure.
Yeah, yeah, it's his money. It's President Trump's money. He's just saying, hey, don't deposit it into my account. Hey, let's just set up a fund here and just let the people who he didn't care if it was Republicans, Democrats, left wing, right wing, or in between. If you can prove and show that you was weaponized, the government weaponized itself against you, then hey, put in for it and let's see if you get anything from it. That's it. But no, 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 no. No, we can't do that. No, that's not the right thing to do. And then you had a lot of them saying Congress members to implement something where they got $500,000 until they shut it down. But they implemented to wanting to get $500,000 when they found out that their phone calls was being listened on. Okay, all right. Then nobody said nothing about that, and that was American tax dollars. But when we talking about this weaponization fund that President Trump wanted to create, that was President Trump's own money. That was his money that he would have gotten. That's how that was set up. Not American tax dollars just coming from the Treasury and just being given away. It was coming from the Treasury because it was a settlement with President Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, we have the best president out there. I don't care what anybody says.
Yes.
So since we're
Yes.
since we're talking about Karen Bass, okay. So I was saying to my audience this morning, we know for a fact that she did. They just cheated again last night, right? But I'm excited that they got that other demon rat out of there, and Spencer Pratt gets to move forward into the November elections. But I am super. I don't know if you've been paying attention to it, Silk, but he is putting out some fiery videos for his campaign, and this is just going to give him 5 more months of just to annihilate them, because they are those videos they're fire. So I really hope that I really hope he annihilates her come November. I'm sure he will. What are your thoughts on all of that?
What I love about it is that it's like he's not beholden to anyone. He ain't got to do what nobody say do. He's letting y'all know this bitch burned down my house or allowed my house to be burnt down because they was too stupid to get the damn water turned on. He's letting the whole world know. Okay, all right? Ain't nothing wrong with him letting the whole world know. And he's doing it in his own way where it resonates with other people, because other people's homes burnt down too. It wasn't just all Republican homes. It was Democrat homes too that burnt down. And then they're looking at the homelessness out there on the street. And now we're finding out they got all of these millions of dollars. Okay, how you going to pay 8 million, I believe it's $8 million to get a little hotel there, to get the hotel. It's ran down and say you need 20 some million to renovate it, only to house 32 families or 32 people. Just think about it. So they are railroading, they're stealing, they're defrauding, they're stealing. And what he is doing is just telling it all. He's just telling it right on out, and he need to continue to tell it right on out. And he's also showing other Republicans that's not beholden to other Republicans like the grand old party how you fight this. You fight this with the message. You fight it where it resonates. You meet the person where they're at, where they're struggling at, and show them why they've been struggling that same way, because you keep doing the same thing. You keep putting the same old people in the same old places, getting the same old results. So it's time for a change. And he remind me of a younger version of President Donald J. Trump, because he ain't beholding to some party that's going to say, well, you better say it this way or you better do it that way. So I've been looking at a little bit of it, and it is funny. It's funny how he come back. They come out with one thing, he take what they came out with, turn it back around, spin it back around, and they can't deny it. They can't deny it because what? When you look at the streets there in California, it looked like a third world country. All of those illegal aliens, all those homeless individuals, people boo-booing in the street, peeing in the street, on the street. They instead of getting a bathroom potty, they just hire somebody to come and wash the boo-boo down a sewer. I mean, it's like, where your mind at?
That's so gross.
Yeah, and then the drug addicts out there, they were so concerned about plastic straws, but they're giving the drug addicts plastic syringes to do their drugs. So you are enabling the drug addicts. You know, what kind of sense does that make? Do you know that common sense is free? And these people don't even know how to use the freedom of the common sense that God gave them to know you don't take and enable a drug addict by giving them more drugs. It don't work like that, okay? You don't help homeless people remain homeless out there, you know? It's so many different things. But here's the deal. Millions upon millions of tax dollars went into the system of helping homelessness there in California. But it's more people homeless now than before they got the money. So what are they doing with the money? So Spencer Pratt, he need to go ahead on and continue to do what he's doing. They need to spread the word and continue to speak it as loud as he can, grow. And I believe that Republicans can take California back if they get rid of those mail-in ballots and those more than one day of election days, because you know they have election months down there, election weeks and election months down there in California. They got to get rid of that stuff so that people, you know, so that the people can really vote for. Listen, when my sister and I would do the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat live tour, we was on the tour. And we went all over the country. But when we went to California, that was the most people, the most people that came to a Chit Chat Live. Usually we would have 100 to 200 VIPs. But for that particular thing, we had to get a very, very huge big building. We had, I believe it was over 1,000 VIPs that we stood there and we was like pictures. It was like repeat, smile, repeat, smile. We did that. So what I'm saying is there's many Republicans that's there in California and they're not being represented accordingly because of all of the cheating that's going on there in California.
Yeah, I agree. I think California is more red than people realize. So, yep, I agree. All right, Miss Nikki, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Good evening, Diamond.
Hello. Good evening, Diamond.
I followed you and your sister for years. I've shared before, you guys made my morning with your truth, your fierce faith. You guys are true patriots. And yes, I still speak of her because I know she's with you. And I just wanted to also bring up that I put President Trump's Truth Social that he put up yesterday on the 2nd at 2:19 p.m. Eastern in the Purple Pill. And it was regarding the Anti-Weaponization Fund. And it was a Substack article. But yes, it's what the media is not telling us. And so my question for you, because I know you've been in this journey for a long time, based on your knowledge and research, what do you think about where the media is? Can you see a difference in where we were and where we're headed? Because, you know, unfortunately, we're still running into the lack of information. And you know, I try to get people to follow President Trump on Truth Social, but, you know, you get the people that are like, I have so much social media. I'm like, if the one person you listen to is your president, that is the most important thing. But I didn't know what you're seeing from your years of research.
Well, first off, when you said the key word lack of information, The lack of information is coming from the censorship. Okay, we're still being censored here, even on this platform that we're speaking on, X. We're being censored. I got 2.4, well, how many? 2 point something million, 2.4 million followers of people that want to hear my content. And, you know, I may get 2,000 or 3,000 people or views, or it may be, you know, just a few folks on. Okay. So we are being censored, especially on Facebook. I can do a live and only get 14 people out of 2.4 million people that wants to hear my content. We are truly being censored. And the media, the mainstream media, the lamestream media, the corporate media, including some on the right-wing media, what they're doing is just lock and step. Okay, they're doing what the executives is telling them to do, and can only say what the executives would allow them to say. Now, remember, I've been in the midst of corporate media, and that's why my sister and I had to really truly get away from all of that, because they want to control your voice, they want to control your speech, and you was only allowed to say and do certain things. And that's why I'm grateful for Lindell TV, where I can have the conversation about the weaponization that's happening against American citizens. Tonight, I'm going to be having a conversation with a young lady about her mother being tortured in the hospital during COVID, and how her stepfather was basically murdered, okay, when they smothered him to death with the ventilators. All right. But on corporate media, on corporate TV, I can't have that conversation. On left-leaning platforms, I can't have that conversation. So that's lack of information. So your voice right now, baby, is your power. And that's why we have to continue to utilize our voice to spread the message. Before social media, what did we have? We had our voices, where we took and we told this person, that person told that person, that person told that person. And that's what we have to continue to do. For me, I do not depend on the mainstream media. I always go over there to President Trump's Truth Social, because I know he's so transparent, you can see right through him. He gonna tell us what's going on, and he gonna call out the foolishness when they're lying about it.
Thank you, ma'am. And yes, exactly. He speaks to us every single day, literally, sometimes hour by hour. And we are so blessed to have somebody that stands in faith and is not rocked or moved or controlled by money.
Yep.
I mean, it's amazing, you know, and unfortunately, there are so many that put their faith in man and media, doctors, etc., and they don't think for themselves. And just like you said, we've got to research and rely on our own God-given intuition. You know, I mean, it's a crazy world, but the Bible told us that this is how it was going to be.
Yeah.
But it's up to us to use our voice for good, and that's what I love about you. You're feisty in a good way. You are a true patriot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki. Now, let me tell you all something. You all better be grateful that President Trump is the president of these United States. Because if we had to depend on Jim Crow Joe and the whole Bo, we will all be in trouble. Okay? All right.
Oh, I love you, Silk. Everybody, like I said, she gives about 50 minutes of your time, or her time. But I want to let everybody know, as we are talking about the election in 2020, it's not over yet. Brunson is trending right now, guys. Don't forget, the Brunson case is still out there. It is trending. So buckle up, buttercups. We are about to see some between Tulsi, Brunson, and Tina Peters. I think we're going to see some amazing stuff happening here real soon. So, Silk, I know you have to go. Do you want to tell everybody where they can find you, my friend?
Most definitely. Once again, Mondays through Fridays, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, LindellTV.com, LindellTV.com. Don't forget to go to diamondandsilkstore.com. go and purchase the Diamond and Silk Bobbled Head memorabilia. Okay, it's the little bobble head that my sister and I. She before she passed away, a few months before she passed away, she had ordered a whole bunch of them, right? And so after she passed away, I'm still selling them, and I'm selling them for $10 because we just passed 10 years of the Diamond and Silk brand. Okay, so that's diamondandsilkstore.com. Go and get them, and in the words of Mr. Mike Lindell, once they're gone, they're gone. So go and get yours right now. Not right now, but right now.
Soon, before they're gone.
That's right.
And everybody, Silk is here with me every other Wednesday, unless obviously our schedules, something happens, which we know that does. That's life. But she is here every other Wednesday, everybody. And if you know somebody that has been looking for her and wants to see where she's at, this is where you can find her. And then her shitty chat line. But she's a hoot. She's a good time. We had a great time here. And I want to thank everybody here for being here and showing the support, partaking. And Silk, always, thank you so much for being here. I love you, my friend. And we'll see you soon.
God bless. I love you all, and I will see you soon.
All right. God bless. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.